Despite the recent terrorist attacks, the mood is optimistic. Heading to climate talks in Paris, nearly 150 countries have submitted plans to cut emissions, but none of those proposals cut emissions enough to avoid the 2 degrees Celsius rise in temperature that scientists say could bring on the worst impacts of climate change. The Paris talks will initiate a system to renew and strengthen commitments over time.
Ideally every 5 years and coming back starting in 2020, in fact.
Negotiators will be working on a 55-page draft produced by a previous conference in Bonn. The wealthy nations want all countries to participate financially, especially emerging economies like China, India, and Brazil. The poorer, more vulnerable countries want the wealthier ones to fulfill their pledge to mobilize $100 billion in private and public support for climate adaptation. Experts say the switch to a low-carbon economy could result in an unprecedented investment opportunity.
We know that we will see trillions of dollars, literally, in infrastructure investment over the coming decades. And the question is that infrastructure investment being oriented in the right direction? And so when you're making energy investments, are you pursuing renewable energy, which in many cases is already or will very soon be cheaper than conventional fossil fuel sources in many countries?
Developing countries can and must leapfrog beyond the fossil fuel age, says UN climate chief Christiana Figueres.
It is an astonishingly difficult task that we're asking developing countries to do, but one that is inevitable because, my friends, there is no other option. There is no other option. Not to address climate change is so immoral, is so unacceptable to all of us that there's no other option.
Outside of the Paris Agreement, Figueres says there is no plan B because there is no planet B. Roseanne Skirbel, VOA News, Washington.